I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. It seems like Luffy's awakened Nika mode is broken. Let's go.
Take a moment right here, feeling like it's out gear, running, no. Keep running.
This is my 1092 chapter review, and it is titled Kuma Tyrants the Holy Land Rampage. Now, I can say one thing, it's finally good to actually see Kuma and what he's actually doing, but it correlates what's going on at the end of this chapter. Remember, the Iron Giant had something to do on Mayor Joas, and it seems like Kuma's had the same mission as the Iron Giant, and it seems like something is going on between Kuma and this Iron Giant. All in all, we do not know where Kuma's headed to, and we did not know what the Iron Giant also wanted on Mayor Joas, but we have a little scuffle between Akainu and Kuma. But before we get in a little scuffle between Kuma and Akainu, we see that the revolutionaries actually did their part on starving out the Celestial Dragons. So Celestial Dragons is actually complaining about the food supply, how they trying to order food and they can't get it. And as they trying to argue with Akainu, bro, he's not even hearing none of it. He's ignoring them and trying to go for Kuma. And I can't say Kuma had everybody fooled in one piece, like he really lost all his mind, but it seems like he has a mind of his own right now. And we can't say one thing, bro, Akainu is literally doing for the one hit done. He's really trying to unalive everybody he come across. He did the same thing he did to Whitebeard to Kuma. This man Akainu is not playing. He even tried to see if Kuma actually bleeds real blood, and he does. So as Kuma tried to get away, we see Akainu hit him with a lava blast on his foot. So I can't say his foot is definitely eradicated. And what surprised me is that Kuma actually felt the pain of his foot being dismembered. And before you know it, Kuma actually vanished in mid-air with his devil fruit power, right? And still, we do not know actually where Kuma is going and what his plan is. And Akainu is so stressed out to not know actually what Kuma is planning. So we get a small flashback of Akainu and Bonnie. Basically, Bonnie's telling Akainu that no, my daddy would never ever turn his life over. Now, I can't say one thing. Akainu is doubting himself and trying to convince himself that Kuma is still a mindless machine, and he's really not. So this is Akainu's fall, actually taking Kuma lightly to think that he's actually just a Terminator walking around somewhere with no mind. Listen, Kuma got some of his mind intact, or it's a switch where Kuma can turn on and off to be the Kuma that everybody knows, or he can be a pacifista for war purposes. So after this interaction between Akainu and Kuma, we have to go to Egghead, and we see that some of the vice admirals and some of the marines are actually on the Fabro phase, so they actually made landfall, and we see the Mark 3s just taking out these Sea King beasts. But then we get to the juicy part when actually Luffy is fighting Kizaru and Snake Man, and Kizaru's words actually hit me because he said, I see why you're the man that defeated Kaido. We all know Kaido is strong, right? Kaido's a Yonko. Kaido has a crazy hockey crowd. Like, his devil fruit is amazing. But Kizaru basically said that he knows the level that Kaido is at, and he sees why Luffy beat Kaido. I'm pretty sure that Kaido had so many scuffles with the admirals right back then. We seen that Kaido actually let himself get captured to eat the food that the marines had because he didn't want to starve. Kizaru is actually trying to pinpoint Luffy's power scaling level, and to actually where to pit Luffy from now on, not that he defeated a Yonko like Kaido. And maybe at this moment, Kizaru's basically saying that Luffy is stronger than Kaido right now. But Kizaru is trying to talk to Luffy and trying to get more information like he did with Shintomaru about why Luffy is trying to protect Dr. Vegapunk. But Luffy counters and asks him, why are you trying to kill Dr. Vegapunk? But I believe in Kizaru basically saying, Lord, I don't want to kill him. I knew him for a long time. But as we know, Kizaru's mission was to assassinate Dr. Vegapunk. It's crazy how Kizaru can actually get into this mode where he had to do what his higher level people told him to do. So he get into this point where it's forget the friends, forget family. Only thing left is the mission, and the mission has to be accomplished. But before you knew it, Kizaru actually regrouped himself above Egghead skies, right, to perform an ultra move where he used a sonic boom. His devil fruit lets him go to the speed of light over 750 miles per hour. He used a sonic boom technique to get even more speed to kick Luffy. And Luffy got kicked so far, he hit Vanga Force 1, demolished it. and he hit the barrier over the lava phase. So the whole Vega Force 1 destroyed, demolished. Luckily, the clouds on top is spongy, so nothing happened to the Sunny. But it's crazy how smart Kizaru is with his Devil Fruit. We know he has Devil Fruit probably plus 20 years, but he used a Sonic Boom to kick Luffy at a speed of light, bro. A Sonic Boom, right? So this attack hit Luffy hard enough when Luffy said, okay, I gotta stop playing with this guy because this guy is amazing, right? That was so smart from Kizaru, and that's the first time we ever seen Kizaru actually use Sonic Boom move to actually give more light, more speed, and more power to his kicks. Like I said before, Kizaru actually feel bad on what he's doing right now. He had to assassinate Dr. Vegapunk, right? He knew how Dr. Vegapunk finally felt when he actually came up with Vega Force 1. When he finally completed and used Vega Force 1, he knew that Dr. Vegapunk felt like so amazed about that because it seemed like the flashback. And he was like thinking like, dang, I really did that to Vega Force 1, and Dr. Vegapunk was so happy to create Vega Force 1 that would lead the new age of inventions, technology, and this new wave throughout One Piece. And we seen that Kizaru actually felt that. He felt kind of bad destroying Vega Force 1. So Lilith told Bonnie and Frankie to get out of there because she knew that it was going to self-destruct, seemed like, right? And then we see the interaction between Kizaru and Bonnie. By this comes full circle for Kizaru. Kizaru knew all these characters that he might have to destroy since he was young, and it seems it's a hurtful feeling, but his eye is on the mission. Now, we see that Bonnie actually told me she had to change her heart, so she's going to take her anger out on somebody else. But actually, Kizaru kicked Bonnie to the barrier where it exploded too. So we know that Bonnie is probably heavily damaged also. And we see that Frankie actually wanted to use a radical beam, that every One Piece fans wanted to see Frankie use a radical beam on Kizaru. That would be amazing. But he actually disappeared, so we couldn't get that interaction. But once we seen Kizaru disappear in front of Frankie, Frankie got on a transponder snail to warn Dr. Vegapunk and company that Kizaru is coming. On the plus side of this, Dr. Vegapunk and York actually found out the code that York had, right? So they can let down the barrier. But as Dr. Vegapunk was talking to Frankie, the mission was definitely complicated because Sunny is where it's at right now and Kizaru's on its way. Before you know it, Kizaru pops right in front of Dr. Vegapunk. So it seems like Kizaru is going to actually achieve his mission of assassinating Dr. Vegapunk. But before you know, we hear like a boom, kadoom, and we see Luffy in his awakened form in huge, gigantic Nika mode, and he snatches up Kizaru, bro. And like I said before, bro, Kizaru is an admiral level. To see Luffy handling Kizaru having difficulty though is so legendary. The Straw Hats is finally actually fighting on an admiral, and they are almost on match levels. I can say Kizaru's getting the best of Luffy, but one thing I can say, Kaido and Kizaru are two different people. Kaido is pure strength, no brains. This is going to be a whole nother level. Kizaru is a smart fighter. The reason why Luffy had an upper hand with Kaido, because Kaido was so immense on defense and strength, and he was not really using his brains in a fight. Always being drunk, thinking he can defeat Luffy through power, and that's it. Kizaru is on a whole nother level. And we've seen that Luffy is actually grabbing Kizaru without using Haki. His Devil Fruit allows him to do that. His Devil Fruit changed things to rubber. So it seems like Kizaru's Logan Devil Fruit does not really work against the likes of the Nika mode. This fight is everything I dreamed of actually, right? So we see that Luffy is still beaten up and he had to go through the barrier actually, right? Once Luffy actually grabbed Kizaru, we see that this Iron Giant is awakening now. So it seems like the Iron Giant share the same thing as Zunisha. Zunisha awakening, saying things when she's seen Joy Boy. And I feel like this Iron Giant coming into close proximity of Joy Boy, Nika mode, Joy Boy, Luffy, this Iron Giant is awakening. The Iron Giant recognized this. He recognized the motion, the vibration of the Nika mode, the Joy Boy mode, Luffy mode, Gear 5th, whatever you want to call it. The Iron Giant recognizes it and is awakening now because of he coming close proximity of Joy Boy. But it's really the sounds of liberation. The sounds when Luffy in his Nika mode. The Iron Giant heard it and awakened from it, right? By this level of vibration that comes from the Nika mode. The Giant understood it and he awakened to know that that is Nika. That is the embodiment of Joy Boy. And he knew it firsthand. And we see the little in parentheses that's inside of this last panel. the sounds of liberation. And he had to understand that that is Joy Boy. That is my leader, right? So, Oda knows what he's doing. This is amazing to actually see this, right? So Nisha first. Now the Iron Giant. The sounds of liberation are awakening these ancient things, right? That was a part of the Void Century. My thing is this right here. Is it possible for Luffy in Gear 5th mode can awaken these ancient weapons? Is it possible for the sounds of liberation in Gear 5th mode can awaken these ancient weapons, these ancient beasts, these ancient monsters? Like, this is crazy. The will to have everybody around you gravitate towards you, even enemies that come alongside you, is Luffy's power. But it's really Joy Boy's resurrection, right? It's Joy Boy. It's the things inside Joy Boy, right? The sounds of liberation that can have people come towards you, even enemies that come up beside you and want to be your teammate. That started with Joy Boy, right? That is Joy Boy will coming throughout Luffy. I'm telling you right now, bro, oh my God. Luffy is an amazing character to actually follow, right? Because of Joy Boy. We see everything that Joy Boy went through out of Luffy now. Essentially, this is what I want. This is good. Amazing chapter. 10 out of 10. I loved it. And we're not on break, so we did get another chapter. That's amazing, bro. Listen, man. Love it. Be here, be square. Catch me next week, man. Love you. Love yourself. I'm Manga the Schyver. Peace.